Hello, my name is Kevin Ricardo. I am the lead educator for BronxWorks. I am presenting the Stellar Farmers Market curriculum for the Nutrition Education Capacity Program. For today's recipe, we are making a gingered beet and carrot slaw. The ingredients are 4 cups of grated beets, 4 cups of grated carrots, half a cup of chopped onion, half a cup chopped poblano pepper, 1 tablespoon minced ginger, 2 tablespoons lime juice, 1 tablespoon vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons mustard, quarter of a cup chopped fresh cilantro, salt and pepper to taste. Here are some quick tips. Use care when preparing. Beet juice can stain. Use salt to remove juice stains from hands. Add cooked sliced beets to salads. Don't throw out the beet greens. Rinse, chop, and cook in soups and stir-fry dishes. Cooking is family time. Kids can scrub beet roots and rinse and tear beet greens. Before starting, you should wash your hands for 20 seconds and use warm water and a bit of soap and lather and rinse between your fingers, fingernails, and scrub as much as you can to get the germs away. You should be washing your hands for at least 20 seconds. As you can see, I am washing my hands and getting in between my fingers and also cleaning my wrists as well. And then I am scrubbing my fingertips against my palms to get underneath my fingernails. Before I started, I put soap with water and got a towel to scrub in circular motions to clean the surface of my table in which I would be cutting the vegetables. I decided to use the table to chop up all my ingredients. You can use a cutting board if that is easier for you. Just make sure that you have it rinsed and cleaned and no soap residue so that it does not go into your food. Here I am showing you the ingredients to make the gingered beet and carrot slaw. You'll need beets, carrot, cilantro, ginger, onion, and lime. The first step is washing your vegetables. You have to wash the vegetable so that you can take away the dirt. You can use a scrubber. And then the following step is to grate the beets. So here you can see how I am grating the beet, holding it at the top so that you don't hurt yourself. You have to hold it tightly because it's difficult to get a grasp of the beet. Later in the video, you'll see that I find a better technique on how to grade because I was making a mess. So you'll see how I will fix this issue. As I grade the beet, I figured out that the best way to get the beet shredded would be having longer strokes against the grater. It made it much easier to grade the beet. But then I also decided to use the large bowl that I had. Having the large bowl and the grater inside the bowl made it possible for me to just hold the bowl instead of holding the grater at the same time. At the end of this, you'll see that I shred at least 4 cups of beet for this recipe. It was much easier to shred the beet, and I was able to also shred the sides of the beet until there was just a small piece of it, because I wanted to get every single shred as possible. That was about 2 cups of shredded beet. I chopped off the root of the beet. I found that it was not necessary since I had enough for this recipe. When buying beets, here are the key points. For the best buy, choose firm, smooth beets with a rich, dark color. To prepare, remove greens, leaving 1 inch of stem. Scrub well. Beet roots and skin may be roasted, boiled, or eaten raw. To keep fresh, separate beet greens from the root. Store in the refrigerator and use within 2 weeks. Beets contain fiber, which helps to keep you regular. It might get a little messy, but it's easy to wash off with a little bit of soap. This is the second step. You need to shred 4 cups of carrot. I only shredded about 2 cups because I would only be eating this salad for myself. But if it were for a larger group of people, you would do 4 cups of carrot. Here you can see the shredded beet and carrot. The following step would be to peel your ginger so that you can have 1 tablespoon of minced ginger. I am taking off the skin of the ginger. Be careful on how to cut your vegetables so that you don't cut yourself. You take a piece of the ginger because you don't need much. All you need is 1 tablespoon of minced ginger. Here I am cutting and mincing the ginger into small pieces. Just be careful with your fingers so that you don't cut yourself. I have already cut the lime in half and used half of that lime and squeeze the juice for the slaw. The following ingredient is vegetable oil, but I used olive oil instead. You need to use 1 tablespoon for your slaw. It spilled a little bit, but it was about 1 tablespoon. Here is the pepper. I already had pepper in my freezer because I always freeze it and have it sliced so it's easier for me to cook at home. You'll need half a cup of pepper. I have red, green, and yellow pepper. I am now cutting half of an onion for this recipe, and then I chopped the onion into bite-sized pieces. This is where you leave the root of the onion so that you can have your onions stay in place while you chop. The recipe says to use 2 tablespoons of mustard, but I do not have mustard at home, so I use mayonnaise instead. I use 1 spoon of mayonnaise. instead of 2 tablespoons of mustard in replacement. The following step is to add salt and black pepper. This all depends on how much salt and black pepper you want, depending on how you like your slaw made. I only added a little bit. I didn't want to add too much. Here I am mixing all the ingredients together. You can see those green little flakes are cilantro. You can use 1/4 of a cup of cilantro in this recipe to make your slaw. This is the end result. You can either serve it as is or refrigerate.